Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here. Just want to start by saying, firstly, London's Calling. What a fantastic event it is for us to all come together and engage with one another. It gives us the opportunity to learn and gain experience from one another. And it's that actual sharing that actually allows us to drive innovation. I've been working with Capgemini and focusing mainly in Field Service Lightning, and I'm here today to talk about the Field Service Lightning Accelerator with Capgemini. I'm firstly going to go through the capabilities of Field Service Lightning, and then secondly, I'm going to show you what happens when you actually question those capabilities and what we did at Capgemini with the Field Service Lightning Accelerator. So within this, I have three aims for today. I want us all to understand and extend our understanding of those capabilities. I want us all to start questioning those capabilities, and we'll see a little bit about how Capgemini did that. And thirdly, wouldn't it be great if we all left here today and went and started exploring those capabilities? So, Field Service Lightning. It's a managed package installed into Service Cloud. And it allows us to intelligently schedule, dispatch, and optimize work. It has its own Field Service Lightning app, which is dedicated to a first mobile experience of offline with our work. But it also allows us to enhance our productivity and customer engagement, focusing on an asset lifecycle and a customer lifecycle. It focuses around work order management and how we can actually look at maintenance work and how we can actually schedule those intelligently. You can integrate it with a whole host of Service Cloud objects and custom objects, and instantly view knowledge articles and track SLA compliances through the mobile device. It uses work order and work order line item and service appointment objects to do this, as well as work type, where we can actually identify the particular activity that's being carried out. I'm just going to explain a few now of the main components around Field Service Lightning. And I'm going to start with the dispatcher console. It takes away from the old clunky views that you used to see about actually scheduling work and gives us that real-time access to the information that we need. The dispatcher console is native and is a tab within the browser. And we have three main features that we can see within the dispatcher console. Firstly, we have a list down the left-hand side of all of our service appointments. So this is all of the work that we have created a service appointment for, and we are now looking to schedule and actually dispatch that intelligently. And we can see this on the left-hand side. Now this is customizable to show us the actual view that we want to see, whether it's particular work that needs to be scheduled, so it's effectively unscheduled, or actually look at any particular work, so any high-profile appointments that we have. The dispatcher console also has a Gantt view. Now this is where we can see a list of our service resources and our mobile users, and also contractors. We can see the particular service appointments that they have, the actual time it's going to take them to get there, and we can actually customize this to show different color schemes about appointments that are yet to be started, those that are in progress, or maybe completed. We can also see holiday and unavailability on here as well. This feature also has a utilization where we can apply it over the top and actually see how utilized our workforce actually is. It also has a map view, which we can see here. Now the map view will let us see the actual GPS location of a particular appointment, customer, or even our technicians. We can see their home base. When a technician changes the status, it will then update on the map, so we get a real lifetime view of when our technician has changed the status of a service appointment. We can see this in our map view. We can also look at assets or products that are out in the field and actually see geographically where they are and apply reports over the top, which we can customize ourselves to show different information about GPS location. With the map, we can also add on to that and see the travel time it's going to take for individual technicians. We can actually apply the filtering to show us the traffic within a particular area. Focusing a little bit more on the intelligence behind it, we can set up particular work rules, which are yes-no qualifiers. Is the service resource active? We can also then apply some objectives to that, which is mainly focused around business KPIs. Do we want to send a technician straight away? Or do we actually want to apply a little bit more logic to this and actually schedule it when we're actually going to that next customer anyway? We can also allow customers to self-book their own appointments via communities. They can go in and see the actual availability of technicians and book an appointment themselves without any need for actually communicating an agent at all. And then we have the Field Service Lightning app. Now, the application itself is for our mobile users. And again, we have some features that they can do and see in here. When they first open up the app, you can actually see a list of all service appointments and navigate back or forward to see availability for that day. They also have a map view, so they can actually see, based on their GPS location, how long it's actually going to take them to get to the customer. They have the ability to apply it to Apple or Google Maps to actually get driving directions themselves. They also have the ability within the app to then contact the customer if they are going to be late via text, phone, or email. They can also tap into knowledge articles, complete workflows, so they can get a complete solution from the actual mobile app itself. They can actually, the actual app itself has barcode scanning capability. So on any text field within the app, you can scan a barcode, whether it be a part or an actual location that you're scanning. They can also complete a service report, which allows them to identify and debrief and actually capture a customer signature at the end of the work that's being done. It also uses parts and inventory and allows you to see the full flow from not only the console but also on the mobile app. You can actually determine when parts are actually required. So when a service resource is about to leave to go to a job, they can actually look at that appointment and see that they actually require certain parts that's not already in their inventory location. You can then very easily consume those parts via the mobile app. You can then see that then in the service report, which can then be sent to the customer to actually see what was actually used in the appointment itself. It utilizes the location object in Salesforce. Now, that location object may be a geographical location, let's say a warehouse, but it could also be an inventory location that is a mobile one, like a personal stock for our service resource, whether that be a trunk in the shop, or it might be a van. And we can see that as well. We can then also apply operation reporting on top of this and analytics. So we can actually get a visibility into our agents and dispatchers and our technicians and also partner performance and actually drill down into that data. Are we hitting our business KPIs? Are we turning up to customers on time? And all of that stuff. We can also connect this now to the Internet of Things and actually leverage the Salesforce platform. And I'm going to give an example of how this could work outside of Salesforce. We can have a particular asset out in the field and using other systems and tools to maybe monitor how that particular asset may break down. That can send communication into Salesforce via APIs or via other tools to actually raise a case, create a work order, find the relevant work type that needs to be done, so the activity that needs to be done, and then actually create emergency work that could be sent directly out to a technician. And we can use that via the engagement rules by applying business logic, and we can actually resolve issues in real time. So that first part just showed you the capabilities of Field Service Lightning. And now I'm going to show you a brief video that shows you what Capgemini has done by questioning those capabilities and seeing where we can actually extend and enhance those capabilities. Capgemini has utilized its Salesforce partnership and worked with customers to create this Field Service Lightning Accelerator.
Traditional service and support alone are no longer enough for today's customer, particularly those servicing complex mission-critical systems. Despite advances in mobile and digital platforms, efficiently scheduling repairs and installations is a constant battle. Having the right parts with the right field engineer for the right client is a logistical dilemma, and determining what services the customer is entitled to is time-consuming and ambiguous. These problems lead to low first-time fix rates, low customer satisfaction, and decreased retention. Field Service Lightning Accelerator, a Capgemini solution built on Salesforce Service Cloud, connects agents, dispatchers, and service technicians on a single platform for a centralized experience. Parts and trunk stock is aligned with customer and technician needs, so ordering and inventory are handled autonomously. Customer-specific entitlements, pricing, and modality-based labor rates are determined by contract parameters for accurate service planning. Not only do the positive customer interactions enabled by FSL Accelerator's technology lead to better customer retention, but they also present new upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Natively built for Salesforce, Capgemini's FSL Accelerator eliminates the need for developing and deploying a separate field service solution and provides integration expertise to critical CRM, purchasing, invoicing, and inventory management functions, leading to an improved experience, greater satisfaction, fewer customers lost to churn, and ultimately, a driver of new sources of services revenue with enhanced operations.
So Capgemini's Field Service Lightning Accelerator, as you have just seen in that video, actually focuses on these 4 areas. And these 4 areas are parts, entitlements, contracts, and debrief. So with parts, so trunk stock, inventory, we look to order parts and get them at the same time that the technician actually needs them, or just before. We look to combine complex assets that have multiple parts that may be needed for different locations, customers, and actually individual assets themselves. We look at entitlements and we actually set contract parameters to determine those service characteristics. We look at contracts with specific parts pricing based on customers themselves, and then also customize the actual customer's labor rates. And then with the debrief, we look to capture all of this service delivery and then determine when to bill with the appropriate ERP system. I'm now going to take you through a 10-step client scenario of where we will see where the field service lightning and the accelerator work together. And this is the first part of that. So firstly, we will have a customer phone up a contact center with an issue. We use Salesforce Field Service Lightning to then identify that customer in the CRM system. And then the accelerator will actually play its part where we determine what is broken. We look at the complexity of the asset. Is there an open warranty on that asset? Or is there something in particular with this particular customer that we need to do? With the entitlements piece next, we look at what is the price of that particular part to the customer. What is the price of the labor to that customer? And are there any SLAs associated with that? Again, then using FSL, we will try to actually remotely see if we can support that customer. And we'll try and solve that problem. Then a decision is made. Do we need to dispatch a technician to go out and solve that problem, or can we do it remotely? If it's remotely, then the cycle will just keep going through. But if we then need to dispatch a technician to go and solve that problem, we'll dispatch. So when we dispatch, we'll create a work order line item, service appointment, based on the activity that's been determined that needs to be carried out. And this is again within Field Service Lightning. Then the accelerator will come in when we're looking at parts. So I briefly talked about earlier, and you've seen in the video, about these complex parts. So you could have an asset based within a customer's region, based within a particular asset that you're using, and we can actually combine a kit that is required for each one of those. And then look at the inventory management, ERP, and pricing. Then using FSL, the troubleshooting will begin, and this will be where the technician would then look to see if they can carry out the activity. They may need to create additional work. They may need to request another technician to come and help them, or multiple technicians. And then we come to the debrief and invoicing. Now the debrief, again, outlines the detailed labor rates and those detailed parts used for that particular customer, location, asset. We then use the invoicing to produce a pro forma invoice based on those debrief details that we can then send to the customer. Capgemini's Field Service Lightning Accelerator and FSL itself can be applied to these relevant industries. So naturally, we always think of the typical ones, but we can actually apply it to a whole host of industries. For instance, automotive. You can apply a shop technician to this solution. Oil and gas, energy, chemical, utilities. And with all of this now, you look to actually expand. And I'm going to go back to my 3 aims for today. Hopefully we all have understood the FSL capabilities or extended our knowledge on those capabilities. Secondly, I hope we've all started to actually challenge those capabilities like we did at Capgemini. And third, I want us all to go away now and start to actually explore Field Service Lightning and the Capgemini Accelerator as an example, and take that on board with Field Service Lightning itself. And now, as you can see, I'm pretty excited about Field Service Lightning because I've seen firsthand what this can do for a business, and also seen the impact that it can have on end users' day-to-day lives. And that's everything from me today. We've been given the 5-minute warning, but I'm here now to take any questions that anyone has. But if not, thank you very much. Any questions from anyone?